The Central Bank Governor of Nigeria launched the RT200 program in 2022.
And now in this next report, the Central Bank of Nigeria has introduced the Bankers Committee RT200 FX program, which stands for the Race to $200 billion in FX repatriation.
We believe that the value-adding export facility is a first step to getting back some of this foreign exchange that we rightly deserve.
Aiming to generate $200 billion in foreign exchange exclusively from non-oil exports in the next 3 to 5 years. The program has 5 key anchors. The first is a value-adding export facility, a non-oil commodities expansion facility, a non-oil FX rebate scheme, a dedicated export terminal financing, and a biannual non-oil export summit. Since the program's launch, the central bank has disbursed 243.93 billion naira under non-oil export financing, and over $1.74 billion has been repatriated within the last 3 months under the non-oil sector in 2023. The rebate scheme has paid 136.58 billion naira to exporters in 2022 and 25.04 billion in the first quarter of 2023.
Since acquiring the central bank intervention, I would say that it has been a very successful and interesting story.
What we do before is to buy raw cocoa beans and export it. In 2011, we decided to establish a cocoa processing factory called Brazilian Industry, and we process cocoa beans into cocoa cake, cocoa powder, cocoa butter, and cocoa liquor.
We used to export about 10, 15, 20 containers, and we knew we could do more, but because of funding and the rate at which we were assessing this funding, we couldn't really do more.
So the beauty of coming into intervention fund, we were able to add to our business a structure of debt that is long and with a grace period and with very moderate costs.
With BPL accessing the intervention fund, what we've been able to do is to set up a larger facility that has increased our production capacity from roughly about 3,600 tons a year to somewhere about 21,000 tons a year in terms of capacity on ground.
The RT200 initiative has encouraged companies to embrace value addition in non-oil production, with many companies shifting from raw commodity exports to processing and packaging. The program has also financed several projects in the Lekki Deep Sea Port, aiming to transform Nigeria into a multi-product economy driven by exports from agriculture, solid minerals, manufacturing, and services.
After assessing this rebate of 11.5 billion naira in the 4th quarter of 2022, we were able to be emboldened to begin a very aggressive export policy of our urea to Southern American countries, especially Brazil and several other countries in sub-Saharan Africa.
Today, if you add all these parameters, we are competitive in West Africa.
We've seen a 300% increase in our revenue. We've seen a 20 to 30% increase in our profit margins. And what that has allowed us to do is it's increased our requirements for labor. Our presence in that environment has led to a situation where we've added significant value to the community around us.
We also have serious plans, aside what we are doing now in terms of value addition, to add more value and more value until we are able to take out only value added products to other countries because they are more profitable to us as an organization.
So the intervention has helped us to compete better on the global scale, because with the rebate scheme, for instance, what it allows us to do is it allows us to use that rebate to offset some cost of production that the business would ordinarily not have been able to absorb.
We have improved the capacity today to improve export and to improve local penetration of our products.
Presently, we are undergoing expansion. Before, we plan to take it to 36,000, but I can tell you that with RT200, we are planning to take it to 40,000 capacity
In the future, the program aims to create at least 1 million additional jobs annually and increase foreign exchange income from exports to contribute 50% of Nigeria's foreign reserve earnings in the next 5 years.
The changes we are expected to see in the export industry, definitely we are expecting higher figure in terms of export repatriation into the country from non-oil sector.
Nigeria is big. We have land. We have the human resource. So what we need is more participation.
I see a huge increase. I don't think we're there yet. I don't think Nigeria is the kind of export base that Nigeria needs. I don't think is there yet. I mean, when you compare us with like India or China, the amount of exporters in Nigeria compared to China, for instance, is probably a very tiny sum. So over the next few years, the CBN can sustain its current interventions, sustain its current drive to drive exports. I see a situation where the amount of exporters will increase significantly.
This message is from the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN.